Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of wine
and whine about life and try to improve our life and yours by offering resources on the topics we discuss.
That's right. But this month is more fun than others because it's Mickey Mouse March.
Mickey Mouse March.
Yay! So this time we have the 19 Crimes Cali Rosé.
Snoop.
So the Cali Rosé, the Snoop Dogg Cali Rosé, has ripe strawberry notes along with delicate floral and rose petal aromas, fruit-forward notes of fresh raspberry, strawberry, and red cherry, balanced acidity and sweetness. Did you try it yet?
Mm-mm.
That's good.
That is good.
That is a chocolate-covered strawberry wine.
It's delicious, and sometimes rosés get me because they feel a little tart. Mm-hmm. This one seems less tart.
Yeah.
I like that.
We'll put Snoop in the place of honor.
And it's a beautiful pink, which is like my favorite color. Now, what an appropriate day to drink rosé, because I have roses on my ears today. I'm wearing the Beauty and the Beast. I want to say these are the ones I put out for the anniversary of the film. But they were a gift from my parents for my last birthday. And they light up at night. You can't really tell in here, but I do have them on. You kind of see the reflection of my hands. So I'm very much looking forward to taking these when we go for my 40th birthday and wearing them in the evening.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Excited. And then I've got my Belle's Bookshop t-shirt on. I found this on Etsy, so if you like it, hit up Etsy.
I've just got the Let It Snow jersey on. It says Let It Snow on the back. I do not really want it to snow, but it's cute.
It's just a cute jersey. Okay.
Yep.
Leave us alone.
That's right. Man, all the Disney gear. I love it.
All the Disney gear.
This week we are talking about experiences and rides. Mm-hmm. So when we say experiences, there's a lot of different things that can cover.
Yeah.
And Nikki found a really great website that lays it all out for you.
Yeah, it's actually the Disney My Experience website where you can plan and make all your reservations and stuff. They have a page that breaks down all the experiences that you can book, and you can click on each one and see how to make a reservation, where it's at, general costs, that kind of stuff. But there's lots of what they call enchanting extras.
That's right. I was just looking over some of these. I don't think I've done any of them.
I don't think I have either. Because we kind of did our own version of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Exactly. Like we didn't have a choice on that.
Yeah. Oh, I did do the Harmony Barbershop. Ari got her first haircut at Harmony Barbershop in Magic Kingdom, and it was the most adorable thing on the planet.
And I'm glad we're talking about these things because, like, I didn't know there was the Harmony Barbershop, and we could have done that with Lucas or Ellie or whoever, and we didn't know it existed, you know? So
yeah, it's something
now
I found
you know.
Googling for. It was Ari's first trip, but she's only going to be 9 months, and I was looking at things that you can have like delivered to the room and stuff like that. And then I found the first haircut at Harmony Barbershop, and I was like,
"That's
your first cut at Disney World? Heck yeah!" Even though she was 9 months old and barely had enough hair to cut, they humored me, and they did all kinds of cute things. Like, it's an old school looking barbershop, first of all, so lots of cute pictures. And when they found out I was waiting outside for the doors to open, we had the first appointment, they found out that that there was a little baby coming in for her first cut. They had a PhotoPass photographer come in. So if you want someone to take pictures of you getting your hair cut there, you can ask the barbers if they have time to flag down a PhotoPass photographer, and sometimes they can get one to come in. So we got all the pictures, and she got a little hat, the mouse ears hats that are black and have the black mouse ears on it, and you can embroider on the back of them. And the back says, "My first haircut." And they took pictures of her in it. And I took all kinds of pictures of her in that hat in front of the castle, which are some of my favorite baby pictures.
I love it.
But they did the haircut, and they put a piece of the hair in a little bag full of glitter, pixie dust. and they give you a little gift certificate, a little certificate that says my first haircut on it and stuff, and stickers for the baby, or the kid, So it was very cute and very fun.
Do they do all ages in that shop?
Yes, adults can get haircuts in there.
So,
and I think I could be wrong, but I think they do some sort of special like men's beard treatments and shavings and stuff too. But
yeah,
there's definitely a store in Disney Springs that does that has some sort of like experience for that. But it was a lot of fun and really cute. And it's kind of tucked away on the side as you're like going down Main Street. It's kind of on the right, kind of around a corner. So I think that's partially why we didn't even really know it existed. It's kind of tucked in one of those little side corners. Yeah. But it was so cute.
Main Street has a lot of those little alcoves that like you think, oh, that's just like a little
alleyway.
Nothing. Exactly. Yeah. Like just like a little empty spot in the park. And it's like, no, there's actually things there.
Yeah. Some of those alcoves are nice people watching too. Like there's one that has little bistro tables and you can sit down and the music is pumped back there. So you hear all the Disney music and you just kind of watch people strolling by and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we should record sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like, what can we catch? Some of the, or I'll say one of the more popular ones lately is building your own lightsaber android at Hollywood Studios. Do you have to make a reservation for both of those if you're doing them?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know you do for the lightsaber. I'm pretty sure you do for the droid too. And they're not cheap.
No, they are not cheap.
However, I was just learning the other day in one of those Facebook groups I'm in that if you get there and you haven't made those reservations and your kid sees this fancy lightsaber and really wants one, they do sell like $25 lightsabers in one of the stores down there. So it's not the build your own experience, but if they're just like dying to have a lightsaber and you didn't plan for that or whatever, you have other options.
Yeah. Are the build your owns closer to 200?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know that they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive for sure.
But unfortunately, not being a huge Star Wars fan,
right.
I am not up on all of those things.
That's the thing. We looked into the idea when we were going, but we are also not huge Star Wars people. Mm-hmm. So once we saw the price tag, we were like, not really something we want to spend that much on.
And it takes a lot of time out of the day too. It's an experience. Mm-hmm. You go and you spend at least an hour doing that.
Yeah. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, that is makeovers for the little girls in your life. Mm-hmm.
They have princess makeovers and night makeovers. So they do.
Oh, that's right.
They do boys.
You're right. They have the night ones also.
And if your little boy is into princesses, he can do that too. It is an option.
Yeah.
There are little boys that do that, so fear not.
Yes.
They will handle it with ease and with care.
That's a good point that I didn't think about.
Yeah.
So you can get your princess makeover or your night makeover.
You go in and you get a fairy godmother, which is your makeover artist, and they do your makeup and they do your hair, and there's different options, and you can get the dress and the accessories, and there's different options for that. You'll want to go on the website and look at all the packages because different packages offer different options and different things.
Right.
And you can see the dresses ahead of time, so you can kind of like get an idea of what you maybe want to plan on getting and what it's going to cost. So.
And some moms, to be able to still do it and make it cheaper, will buy dresses before coming in. So you can buy your own dress, bring it to the park, and then get the smaller makeover package and then just throw on the dress that you bought. Yeah,
they'll do the hair and the sparkles. They get pixie dusted and everything. And there's also a cute little space to take a couple pictures in there. Mm-hmm. And I believe they have a PhotoPass photographer there most of the time. At least they used to. Nowadays, they're replacing some of those main picture spots with machines that do it. So I don't know if that's one of the places that got that or not, but I know Tinkerbell got that. Yeah, you can get cute pictures with like these fairy tale looking backdrops, like professional photographer backdrops. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. And then there's another option too. One of the other enchanting extras that you can do is capture the moment, which is where you get a specific amount of time with a PhotoPass photographer that's just there for you, and they know all the great places. They travel with you throughout the park and take pictures. People use it for baby announcements, gender reveals, engagements. I know people who have done it for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique pictures as well, and just special events. Now, sometimes you do have to be careful if you're coming in for I think I heard one lady try to do it for quinceañera, And like, you know, they have the big poofy dresses, and Disney has rules about that. So you got to make sure that you know whatever you're wearing is allowed in the park.
Yes, definitely double check that, especially as an adult. And just because COVID is over doesn't mean you can, or you can no longer get help with the people from the Ear for Each Other group.
Yeah.
Say Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is all booked up. Like that alliteration. Or say you want something delivered to your room. There are lots of services on that Facebook group where you can reach out to them, schedule something for your trip.
Yeah.
The ladies that come to the hotel and do the makeovers are absolutely wonderful.
They're fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
They came in and they painted their nails and did their makeup and their hair and made sure everything was good, and even let us know like ways that we might be able to let them sleep in it and like how to take care of it in the morning to like make it last a whole other day, which it did. It was great. They do have a version for adults, or at least they did for a little while, at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, nice.
There's a salon there, and they had an option for, you know, the adult women who wanted to get duded up like a princess.
What if you want to get duded up like a villain?
Maybe. If you are interested in that as an adult, look up and see if they're still doing that. That might be an option. But I'm sure the women that come to the hotels would do adults too.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet they'd have a ball.
I've seen pictures of some adult ladies that got dressed up, or, you know, make-upped up.
Now, if you're looking for a cost-effective way to do these things, of course, you can bring your own supplies for a beautiful ballerina bun, because that's one of the hairstyles you can get at the boutique. And it was just a bun, you know, a regular old bun with a little crown on it, a little crown you can buy at the dress-up stores. But they also have this great stuff that's glitter for your hair you could just spray in. I have one that comes in, it's a tiny little bottle, and it's lasted for 5 years so far. Like, I've had it since basically Ari was born. And for Halloween or special events or whatever, we just pump a few and it sprays gold glitter all up in her hair. So you can do it yourself, you know, if you're trying to save some cash or you don't have the cash.
Maybe too.
And you can bring in your dress up clothes into the park. You know, on the second day, I think, when she wasn't actually dressed up originally, we just brought it in a shopping bag in the stroller. And when she wanted to put it on, she threw it on. And when she didn't want it, she just wore her shorts. So, you know, it's a good option as well. And just, if you do start the morning dress that way, definitely bring a pair of clothes to change into.
Always be prepared.
Because they're not going to last in that thing all day. It's itchy and stiff. And
I don't care what your child says to you at 7 a.m. in the morning, or how excited they are, or how much they usually love dresses at home. Be prepared. Yeah. Bring something extra,
hot and sweaty,
just in case.
People start having meltdowns and sensory overload. But I would suggest, you know, bringing a spare change of clothes for everybody every day anyway. That's was always fair. Like in a Ziploc bag with all the air suctioned out, making it as small as I could, but shoved in the bottom of the backpacks every day, because you never know when you're going to spill something or have an accident. Especially, I think the last time we went, Ari was like 4, and she was, you know, freshly potty trained, new to holding it for long periods of time. So
that's always an adventure. Sometimes I will backtrack in those moments and be like, maybe we'll pull a pull-up out just in case.
I usually packed one just in case. But another trick, if you have kids around that age that are potty training or just recently potty trained or just sensitive, all of the potties there are automatic flushing. So bring some Post-it notes, because you can stick a Post-it note over the sensor.
Oh, nice.
And it will not go off while the kids are on it. I see that tip all the time on the boards. So bring Post-it notes if you have a kid that will get skittish if the toilet flushes under them, because it will happen.
I'm glad you said that, because Jack is absolutely that way.
Yeah, you'll want some Post-it notes.
That's such a cool trick. Talk about caring for giants.
Oh gosh, this thing was so cool. So it's part of the Animal Kingdom theme park, and you get to have a closer look at all of the African elephants. So you get an up close and personal look. The zookeepers are there, like teaching you about them, telling you their names. I don't know beyond that really what's involved, but it just looked really cool and affordable. It was not an insane price.
Really?
So yeah, I even looked at it and I thought maybe we should do that.
Yeah. So when you say that the trainers are talking to you about them and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
are you like standing up there with them? Is there a separation between you and the elephants?
You know, I don't know that it said. Let's see.
Gotcha.
Let's look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Caring for giants. It's already been a couple weeks since I looked at this.
No,
I just
don't
thought
want to do
an experience like this must cost thousands of dollars, and it definitely did not.
Well, in this...
Yeah, $40 a person.
Yeah, which is honestly... So we're near St. Louis, and we have the St. Louis Zoo, and they have tours, behind-the-scenes things with different animals. You will sometimes pay more than that per person for the St. Louis ones. You'll be approximately 80 to 100 feet away from the elephants.
Yeah. No cameras, video equipment, or cell phones can be used.
While backstage. That's what they call it. This is zoo talk that I know about because one of my coworkers' spouse works at the zoo, and it's not just a Disney thing. All the zoo people call it backstage.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering if they just don't want the elephants to end up being spooked while you're behind the scenes.
Yes, 18 and under must be accompanied by an adult. You must be 4 years must be 4 years of age or older to participate. 24-hour kids.
This looks fun.
Yeah. Non-transferable wheelchair guests may remain in their wheelchair throughout the entire experience. However, due to limited capacity on board the backstage transport vehicle, all accommodation requests should be confirmed by calling the snipper. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Also, if you're allergic to dust and hay, please keep that in mind.
Oh, yes. But it just sounded like really cool to get up close and personal. Yeah. It's only $40 a person.
That's a really good price.
Yeah. I want to say the Capture the Magic photographer photo pass thing wasn't bad either. It's like a short frame of time that you get with them, but I remember reading that and thinking, wow, I could actually afford to do that with Ari if I wanted to. So another enchanting extra are the VIP tours, where you can pay to have a tour guide. They meet you in the park at a specific place at a certain time with your whole party, and they guide you through the park, and you get to skip the line for all the rides. So like they'll walk you up and either have a back entrance, like all the way up to where the line gets onto the cart ride, or they put you in the lightning lane, depending on how long that wait might be, and kind of like walk you up to the front of it. But basically you can have a whole group go, and they can do it. You can travel between all the parks if you want to, and they have a little shuttle van that they'll cart you around in. Of course, that takes time, so got to factor that in if you're going to be jumping around. But it's not cheap.
No.
It ranges from $450 to $900 per hour, depending on the season. And on top of that, you have to have valid park admission, so you have to have your ticket that you bought as well. But I've watched vloggers do it together, and it looks like a lot of fun, and it is a great way to get in every single ride that you want to do.
Yeah. And it sounds like they have different options in that area. But if you do a private VIP tour, there is a minimum of 7 hours, and you can only put up to 10 people in a group.
Yeah. Yeah, there are limitations to it and rules to it for sure. And the VIP tour guide that you get is usually someone who's like an above and beyond kind of cast member who has all the secret knowledge and stuff, and they tell you all the tips and tricks while you're going through and all the history and things like that. They point out all the hidden Mickeys and stuff like that. So just an extra way to experience a little extra magic if you've gone a lot, or if maybe this is a once in a lifetime trip and you want to make sure you get on everything and see everything, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We encountered one VIP group. We were in line for Slinky Dog, and they came right up behind us, and I was like, oh man, I've never actually seen in real life a VIP group.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if it was anyone famous, but I don't think it was.
The cast members are usually in dark blue pants with this like red plaid kind of vest outfit. And sometimes they can help you, like they can get bottled water for your party and stuff, so you can like pull over to the side and they'll go get bottles of water for everybody, that kind of stuff. So it can be a cool experience. Little VIP action.
Once we hit the lottery, we'll do it.
That's right. Please join our Patreon. We would love to do the VIP tour on my 40th birthday.
Let's do a GoFundMe. One of the things I have not gotten to experience yet, but I think would be awesome, is to take some time for the things like going to the spa while you're at Disney. When I do other trips, that's one of my favorite things is like, where's the spa? Let's book something. And so Disney also offers those. They have golf courses. They have other ways that you can relax outside of the park, whether it's a rest day or if you go up there for a couple of extra days to enjoy those amenities. There's some of those to look into as well.
Yeah, there's a mini golf place too.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff. So.
Florida mini golf is the best mini golf, and you cannot convince me otherwise. The firework parties.
Oh, yes.
There are so many.
There's so many options. There's ones where you can sit in the, what's the name of that restaurant that's over in the space area?
Like
Tomorrowland. The Tomorrowland.
Shoot. Lunch pad?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you sit at a table and there's like, it's a dessert party. So there's little desserts. I think it comes with unlimited drinks and they do have like beer and wine options.
Hey.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a pre-firework party or a post-firework party. But usually you either sit at the balcony from the Tomorrowland Terrace. That's what it's called.
Oh.
Or you have a spot reserved in the grassy area right in front of the castle. They have that roped off. So it depends which party you participate in. But then there's other ones too, like at Epcot, you can ride on a pontoon boat.
Yes.
And they'll park at a place where you can see everything that happens on the lake for the show. You're far enough away that you're not going to get, hit with a firework or something, but but it's a really cool experience. There's all kinds of stuff like that. I know you mentioned the Rose and Crown.
Yeah, the Rose and Crown also has, you basically eat in the restaurant and then I don't remember if there's like a balcony.
Yeah, they have like a back outdoor seating area and it's kind of like a raised up balcony.
And I think sometimes depending on where you're eating at Cinderella's Royal Table, you can just happen to see the fireworks. That's not a specific
you can
party,
see
though.
A few of them out the back window, but really you're under them. So it was difficult.
Yes.
I think we saw a couple, but
yeah, it was difficult. I wondered if being closer to the window helped those people, though.
Probably. We were pretty far away from the windows.
Do they still do the dessert cruise? Tiana's?
Yes. I think it might depend on the time of year, but they do have, the ferry boats that go back and forth between the TTC and the Magic Kingdom. It's kind of like a ferry boat ride with dessert party on board, and then you can have a different view for the fireworks.
Yeah.
There's also places like if you want to eat dinner at the Contemporary, they have, like a rooftop viewing spot. So if you have a dinner reservation at one of those places and it runs up to the fireworks time, you can go out into the balcony and watch the fireworks show.
Small life hack. If you're getting close to fireworks time, but you don't quite want to stay, you can get on the Skyliner and see most of it from the Skyliner. I think that was our Epcot day.
Did they pump the music into the...
I don't think so.
I know they
I think
do
it
at
was
the Contemporary, but
Skyliner music, but we had debated staying for the fireworks, and we went to the Frozen ride first because we hadn't ridden it because of the long lines, and our thought was, we're going to get in there at the right time and everyone's going to be lining up for fireworks and there won't be any line for the ride. I was wrong. We were too early. Maybe wait until the fireworks have started, But it still wasn't as bad. But we went through the line and we rode the ride and we were like, do we stay for the fireworks? Do we go ahead and go back to the room? And we decided to go back to the room and we got on the Skyliner, and it wasn't on purpose, but we did notice as we were leaving, you can actually see some of the fireworks from Epcot from the Skyliner. So we got to see a few of them on our way back. I would say if you are a fireworks person, not the route to go. I would find something else. But if you're kind of like, fireworks are fun, but it's not going to kill me to miss them, you'll see some of them as you're going back.
And there are certain rooms at certain resorts you can get that have windows overlooking like the vast expanse that is the Disney property, and you can it's far and in the distance, but you can see the fireworks over both parks. I want to say I just watched a video by Kyle Pallo, and they were doing a staycation at, I want to say it was Coronado Springs.
I love when that's a staycation.
Oh, yeah. And they did the concierge service level where you get the little club with snacks and food and stuff. And their window looked out and you could see both Epcot and the Magic Kingdom. And so from their window, they could see at a distance the fireworks for both. And I was like, wow.
Oh, that's kind of fun. That's how our 4th of July is, because if we position ourselves right, we can see Lake St. Louis and Wentzville and St. Charles. We get like multiple firework displays.
Nice.
All right.
But yeah, I think one of the best pieces of advice we can give is to kind of think about what's the priority for you. Are rides the priority? Are fireworks and castle shows? Are character meals? Are standing in line to meet a character your goal?
Right.
Because you can't do it all. You really can't.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to pay the thousands of dollars per hour for this VIP thing. Then maybe you could, but...
And then you might be able to do it all anyway, because you can clearly afford Disney for 3 weeks, you know?
And I say, like, I love going and going back and going back, but the more I go and the more I know about what exists, there's some real FOMO going on. I'm always like, I'm going to go and have just a relaxing trip this time where I walk slow and I'm not racing from side of the park to side of the park and, like, getting there at rope drop and staying till it closes, like... just gonna be relaxed. And then I get there and I'm like, but I want to do everything because I know about everything. And then I go nuts. So
oh, we just need to move there.
We do.
I got an email the other day that Golden Oaks or whatever that subdivision is has houses available, and they're only millions of dollars.
Only. Taking applications now for sugar daddy.
She is. I'm just agreeing. Brandon, don't watch this now. I'm scared to touch on Genie Plus because it's so complicated and ever-changing.
All right, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to give a brief Genie Plus overview.
And when it's different, when you go in a couple of months, don't blame us.
That's right.
That's
they changed
Disney's
the rules. So Genie Plus is what used to be Fast Pass. It's now Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. An individual Lightning Lane is when you pay a specific amount to ride one of the individual Lightning Lane rides, which are only a couple in each park, like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if they still are. They might be off that by now. The Tron coaster at Magic Kingdom, stuff like that. And you can look up exactly which rides fall under what category in each park on the website. But Genie Plus is what used to be Fast Pass. So you pay for it and you get to stand in the Lightning Lanes that go faster instead of the standby lanes where you have to wait a lot longer. And they just let more people in from the Lightning Lane side each time than they do the regular line. Genie Plus is a cost per person per day, and you have to purchase it. And this is a rule that's changed multiple times, so don't come at me if it's different. It used to be you could buy it when you made your reservations, and you could buy it for your whole trip, for your whole party. And then there was a point where you had to wake up at 7 a.m. and buy it each day for that day. And they do, on crowded days, run out of them. So it's not unlimited. If you want Genie Plus, wake up early and buy it. And those individual Lightning Lanes are even more scarce. So if you want to do both, if you want to have Fast Pass Lightning Lanes and you want to buy an individual Lightning Lane for a specific ride that you have to have one for, you want to wake up at like 6:50 in the morning, be ready to go on the app, and where you're just pulling down the refresh page, because those Tron ones will be gone in like 2 minutes. No joke. And then there's another time, it's at 7 a.m. and at 1 p.m. that you can get Lightning Lane spaces. And there used to be rules about, you have to have a reserved reservation for that park on that day, or they won't even let you purchase the Lightning Lane. I don't know if that's true anymore, because that's changed a lot between COVID and now.
I think they did away with the park reservations, too.
I think they did, too. Well, you still have to have park reservations on some days.
Okay.
See, they made it even more complicated by saying, well, we're going to take it away for some days, but not all days.
Listen,
so
Bob.
Take a guess. When you buy your Genie Plus, you pick your first ride, and you can put everyone in your party on it. And then once you've scanned through, you can pick another ride. So if you're in line, in the Lightning Lane line, and you've scanned your magic band twice in the line, then you can go ahead and reserve the next one on your phone. And you can do that all day long.
So you can only do one at a time currently.
Well, that I'm not sure of, because it used to be you started with 2, and then each time you went through the line, you could pick another one. So you kind of had 2 most of the time. But then they've changed that like 3 times since I've been there. So I don't know currently what the rules are on that.
That sounds not complicated at all.
Right? But I did hear a rumor that they are leaning on going back towards more Fast Pass way, where when you buy Genie Plus, you pick your rides for the day, basically. Or you can pick like 3 or 4 up front and then add on later, which was a lot easier.
I miss the time when FastPass was free and you just got to pick 3 things.
Yes. That was a beautiful thing. And then you could, try to get the ones that you knew had the longest lines, and so you could kind of avoid a lot of line time that way, or ride something more than once that way that was like a favorite. But I would say if you're getting ready for a trip and you want to know the latest, go on YouTube and just search Genie Plus, and make sure you look at the date of the video. Make sure it's no more than like 3 months old.
Yeah.
Because every time the new rules come out, all of these YouTubers update and post a new video.
Yeah.
So there will be fresh stuff out there that can really, longer videos that really break it down step by step, and short ones that just say, here's the basics. So whatever your attention span has, there's something
or
out
level
there for
of
you.
interest.
Right.
Like there's nothing wrong with being a fly by the seat of your pants Disney goer.
Yeah.
Some of us just want to go and see what happens, and some of us want to plan out as much as we can and research before we go to try and squeeze in everything we can. Yeah. So whichever Disney goer you are, good on you.
You will have a good time either way.
Right.
After hours ticketed events. This one's an important one to know about for 2 reasons. One, if you want to participate, it's an extra cost, so you're buying another ticket for the evening, but it's a set amount of park hours where there are less people allowed in the park at the time, and you can get on rides faster and ride a lot more in a short amount of time.
The time will go fast.
Yes, it will go fast. And it is late at night, so you have to be a family where people can stay awake.
Yep.
But another important thing to know about these is that when they have them, the park will close earlier than normal sometimes. So if you are planning to go to the Magic Kingdom and you have your heart set on the evening fireworks show, you need to make sure there's not a ticketed evening event that night.
Yeah.
Because while they let people in around like 4 or 5 sometimes, a lot of times if it's certain ticketed events, they'll have their own parades and their own fireworks shows, and so they won't have the normal one, or they'll kick you out of the park before they even show the fireworks. Right. So that's important to know. Make sure there's not an after hours ticketed event unless you're planning on buying that and staying, or you're okay with leaving before seeing fireworks and stuff.
Yeah. There was one year where we went and we only had 2 kids at that point, and we did not do the after hours event. We were like, I can't afford it. This is a budget Disney trip. And we did not get to do a whole lot before we got kicked out. Like, we still got to do the daytime stuff. But I remember at one point we sat down on the train to ride the train. And I was just thinking there's so much more that we were supposed to get done today that we did not. So you do have to be okay with like, hey, what we get done, and see you next time. Otherwise, I would look at the calendar ahead of time and make sure you're not going on a party day if you don't plan on staying.
Yeah. And look again when you're getting closer to your trip, because you can always change what day you're at what park. And sometimes things crop up. You might plan a trip and not even know there's going to be a Christmas party that night until 6 months later. And then you're like, oh, crap. So you can always change your park reservations if there's room and work something like that out. But the after-hour ticket events are really fun, too. Like, we've done the Christmas party. I've done the Halloween party. Depending on, what your kids are into. It's characters in special costumes. Sometimes there's rare characters you can meet.
Yes.
Super long lines for it, so it does take up a huge hunk of your party time. But, if it's worth it, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun getting to go to the Christmas one last time. And then we got a cute little picture of our daughters holding the Rapunzel lantern. So that was, because I had heard about that photo spot and never gotten to actually check it out. So it was cool to actually check it out.
Yeah, that's something to know about. A little tip for you mamas. At dusk, when the sun is starting to set, in front of the Rapunzel bathrooms, which are to the right in Fantasyland, past Winnie the Pooh and stuff, kind of down the hill towards Haunted Mansion. A PhotoPass photographer will appear with a little light up lantern, and as it starts to get dark, they will take pictures. And you just kind of line
magic.
up. Yes. There's like this stone wall kind of outside of the bathroom area that's kind of in the middle of before you hit the walkway, the main walkway people are on. And it's just this little landscape stone area, and that's where you line up. You just sit on the stone wall, and the line just kind of naturally starts to form, and eventually you'll see a photographer standing there, but he's not taking pictures yet. That's where it is.
Yep.
We just kind of lucked upon it.
Yeah.
I think we were getting ready to take a bathroom break, and I saw the photographer, and I said, that's the lantern picture. And I got in line. And I think I told Mom, quick, get Ellie over here. These little girls they had matching jackets, little Minnie Mouse jackets.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I have it now printed in canvas on my wall. It's one of the cutest pictures.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah. You get to hold the little glowing lantern like from the movie.
It's so much fun.
It's cute.
One of the things, too, that can help you get around the park if you have accessibility issues is called a DAS pass. DAS. D as in dog.
Disability Access Services.
That's right. So that is definitely something to check into. No matter what your level of disability or level of accommodations, definitely check it out. Look into it before you go. Do you still have to do like the interview beforehand?
So I think there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can just go into the park to guest services and walk up and hope that they have space and availability that day to grant it for you. But then you're taking up park time, standing there, going through the interview process, getting people set up, all of that. You can do it all beforehand through an app where they put you through interviews and things. They want to make sure that people really do need it and aren't just using it to skip the line.
Right.
But it also, it's not just the physical disabilities, it's mental health ones too.
Correct, yes.
So if you got a kid on the spectrum or someone that has super anxiety, being claustrophobic in spaces for longer times, you can basically use the DAS pass to wait in shorter lines. You still do stand in lines. You still wait in lines. Our sister did it one year, and I went with her a few times as one of her like family party members. And you basically get a time reservation to use the lightning lane. Yeah. So it's a shorter line, but it's still a line.
Yeah. I remember looking into it when we went last because I'd had those foot issues, but they had cleared up enough by the time that we went that I was like, I don't need it. Yeah. But it's handy to know that it's there. So definitely check it out. The worst they can say is no, but in most cases they're going to say yes. They're just trying to make sure that, you actually do have a need and it's not someone trying to cheat the system. So yeah.
And it doesn't help every kind of disability either. So it's got to be one that would benefit from those circumstances.
Right. Exactly. On that note too, never think that you're too old or your kids in your party are too old to grab a stroller. You're probably going to need a stroller at some point.
If they can physically fit in the stroller, bring one, get one. I don't care what they say. Even if they say, I'm never going to sit in that. That's stupid. That's not cool. You can at least put your bags in it if you need to. But I don't know a kid that doesn't wind up in the middle of the day saying, I'm so tired.
Yes. Giving them that opportunity to sit so that you can keep moving is key.
And there's not always a place to sit when you're just standing around either. So having like a built-in seat.
That's true. We did a double stroller last time. Silas was about 5. We had Jack in the other one. And the amount of times that Eliana would be like, if Silas is walking, I want to sit down. So glad that we had that thing. And we rented ours through a company and they brought it to the hotel and we took it into the parks with us. And while the parks do have strollers, I preferred doing it that way. And I feel like it was also very cost effective. Yeah. Obviously, if you have your own and you're driving, feel free to bring it. Yeah. But if you're flying or you don't have your own, there's a lot of really good reputable companies out there where you can rent the stroller and then you just bring it back to the lobby the day that you leave and they come pick it up.
Yeah. It's really easy. It's pretty seamless at this point. And they're a lot more comfortable than the strollers you'll get in the park. A lot. Those park strollers are those hard plastic things. When you rent from a stroller company, you can pick which stroller, out of their offerings. But I actually wound up going home and buying the stroller that I used on my first trip with Ari because I liked it so much. And then I just took it myself on the airplane the next time.
So if you want to test drive a stroller before buying your own, that's also key.
It works. Get one that's easy to fold up. Yes. Remember, don't put so much stuff in it that you can't hold all of it on a bus because you will have to. And if you're riding the Skyliner, you can't do the double wide strollers. It has to be folded up. But if you're doing a single stroller, they'll let you just roll right on and roll right off. Yes. So another good tip.
Yep, that is fair. We were definitely folding ours up all over the place.
Yeah. You can always split your party into 2 groups if you want 2 single strollers and then go on different Skyliner cars or whatever.
That's true.
It was very easy when we were there late at night. Ari was 4 and she is a night owl. Don't get me wrong. But probably right as we were like rolling up to get onto transport, she would pass out in the stroller. And so I would just put the little cover down and roll right onto the Skyliner and roll right off. Nice. It was beautiful. When she was 9 months old and we went, I had her in a carrier and I had a stroller, and taking the bus all the time was awful.
Yeah.
Like trying to get everything off of it and fold it up and do it, and you've got a baby on you and you're hot and you're sweaty, and then you get on the bus and there's not always a place to sit. Sometimes you have to stand, and if you have your stroller, sometimes you have to stand and hold your stroller.
Yes.
So then you got a baby and you're holding your stroller and
Yep.
It's stressful.
Been there.
And I even had an extra adult. My mom came with me and she tried to make it as easy as possible. It is still hard. Mm-hmm. We had strangers that would offer to hold the stroller for us and things like that, which is really kind.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't always happen. So,
yeah,
keep that in mind. I think what I wound up learning from that was to try to keep everything I packed able to stick into 2 backpacks. Bring an empty backpack for the stuff you're going to buy and a filled backpack with your supplies for the day. And that way, while you're standing in line and waiting for the bus, you can pack everything in the backpack and then you can just fold the stroller and go. But, that stresses some people out more than others. So
True.
Might not even be a concern for you.
True.
But I was standing in line going, oh my God, how am I going to do this? So next thing we'll talk about are character meet and greets. Yay. There are some that you just get in line for and some that you can like lightning lane for that are like a line, like a ride.
Yeah.
Favorite character meet and greets. What would you say is your favorite? I think mine kind of vacillate between 2. Meeting Mickey at the Magic Kingdom. He's in his special little room, and that's a pretty fun interaction. I was
thinking about that one. And it's like an upgraded Mickey now too. Like
yeah, and he's always in like if it's an anniversary or some sort of celebration, he's always in that outfit. So if you want to get him in his special 50th anniversary outfit or whatever,
right,
whatever it is at the time. I'm sad that Minnie isn't there with him anymore because she used to be sometimes. But that's a pretty fun one. And I don't know I think they might have taken him away, but it used to be a talking Mickey for a while too. Like he had the ability to talk to you.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a year ago that they stopped that, but
gotcha.
You can always look right before your trip and see kind of what the deal is.
I did like meeting Minnie in front of the tree.
Yes. Around Christmas time, they had the big Christmas tree on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. Minnie Mouse used to do a meet and greet right in front of it at certain times during the day, like early in the morning, that kind of thing. But a lot of the character meet and greets that we've experienced have changed since COVID and stuff. So
that's true.
We've been since COVID, but a lot of stuff wasn't back yet, and a lot of things were different than they even are now because they were only kind of half back. So look things up before you go. If there's a particular character that you want to meet, if you can't figure it out on the website, a great thing to do is to go on these Facebook groups and say, hey, my kid is in love with Minnie Mouse. I want to know all the places currently at Disney World that I can meet her. If you go to Hollywood Studios, you can meet Minnie Mouse in her pink, like, glamour Hollywood dress on a red carpet. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I tried to do that with Ari last time, but we missed the timing of it twice, and I didn't get the picture. I, to this day, do not have a picture of my daughter with Minnie Mouse. And we've been...
Really?
Yeah. We've been 3 or 4 times. She's elusive. She's
elusive. You know who's hidden, if she's even still there, is Snow White.
Yes.
You have to know where to go to find Snow White at the Magic Kingdom.
So at Magic Kingdom, they have this thing off to the side that's guest services area, and there's kind of a little bathroom back there. But right next to it, there's kind of this brick wall area, and sometimes Snow White is there. And you can stand in a very short line to walk up and get a picture with her in front of this like greenery area that's by guest services.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she used to be in Germany and Epcot, but I don't know if she's still one of the princesses out there or not. But if you're a big Snow White fan, I highly suggest the character dining experience at the Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, I want to do that.
It's really cool. And you get one-on-one time with Snow White, and then Grumpy and Dopey come around, and the Evil Queen. So it's a really great way to meet some rare characters. I'd have to say a couple of my favorites are the places where you get more than one character in a line. So at it's something fair, the Princess Fair or Fan Fair. It's in Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom, and it's off to the right next to Mickey's PhilharMagic. And you can stand in line, and it shows you on the building what princesses are there that day. So I've seen like Rapunzel and Tiana. I've seen Cinderella there before. We've met Elena there before. She was one of Ari's favorites for a while when she was really little. So But then at Epcot, they had a space where you used to be able to stand in line and meet Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy. I think that's under construction currently with all the changes that Epcot is undergoing. But I believe a character spot is supposed to come back to that area once it's all constructionized.
I also really like getting to meet Tigger, but just because I love Tigger.
Tigger was fun. Tigger and Pooh right outside of the Winnie the Pooh ride at Magic Kingdom. You can also meet Winnie the Pooh in Christopher Robin's bedroom in the UK at Epcot. And then there's special ones. If you have the Disney Visa Rewards credit card, there's a location in each park where you're supposed to have a ability to do a special meet and greet that you can only go in if you're a card member.
Okay, so the Epcot meet and greet is in the Imagination Pavilion next to the Magic Eye Theater.
Okay.
From 1 to 6:30. Oh, we did this one. I remember this. When we did it, it was Mickey and Goofy. So
Mickey and Goofy at Epcot.
Yeah, they've always met Minnie Mouse and Pluto, the person who wrote this. On the last one, they met Goofy and Mickey Mouse. So it could be Goofy, Mickey, Minnie, or Pluto. Star Wars is in the launch bay from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is back near all the Disney Junior stuff.
In Hollywood Studios.
Yes, in Hollywood Studios. They saw Kylo Ren before Galaxy's Edge opened, but now he roams around.
Okay.
It sounds like you meet Darth Vader now. But you might also meet other Star Wars characters.
I've heard that the BB-8 meet and greet is really cool at Hollywood Studios. I've never done it.
It does look cool. Did you see the video of the kid that was dressed up like BB-8 and met BB-8? So and that reminds me, I can't believe I forgot about this, but the Olaf meet and greet. That one's great.
That was Hollywood Studios too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to meet Olaf anyway?
Yeah, and you meet him in a little summer beach setup, like his little song, gosh, you know? Oh, it's cute.
So fun. These are just regular ones. They only mentioned Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So I don't know if it's every park. You could, I bet if you went to the park and asked, they would have that information for you.
Yeah.
But it is definitely times matter.
Yeah.
So make sure that if that's something you want to do, that you're there during those specific times.
And that's the same for the princesses you'll meet throughout Epcot and the World Showcase. They only stand out in their spots between certain times of the day. And there's a little sign out of where they'll meet, and it'll say, she's here today from 2 to 4, and then 3 to 7, whatever it is. But they have multiple times throughout the day, and you'll come and get in line. And then at a certain point, they cut off the line. They don't allow people to join because at some point they had to let her walk away.
Right.
So, make sure you're checking out those signs and that you're getting there before the time of the line opening.
Yeah.
So that you can line up.
Yes. Definitely. I would just make a priority list.
Yeah. Who are the priority characters to meet? Do you even care about it? Some kids are terrified of doing that. So, if they're not into it, I don't waste my time.
Right. Exactly.
There was one year when we went for my baby moon that we went to a lot of characters. We were doing a lot less rides because I was pregnant. She had a 3-month-old with us. And one of my priorities was to get lots of pictures to put in the nursery of me with my belly and the princesses and things like that. So, and I still have the one of Minnie Mouse kissing my belly up in Ari's room.
See, she did meet Minnie.
She did. In vitro.
In vitro. We just need an out vitro one.
That's right. That's one of my priorities for the 40th birthday trip is to meet Minnie Mouse.
There we go.
She was really excited to meet her last time, and it just, everywhere we went, it didn't work out. She wasn't in a couple of the locations I thought she would be, and then timing didn't work out at Hollywood Studios, and she wasn't back at Animal Kingdom yet in her safari outfit, and it just kept falling through. Disappointing.
How sad.
But, we'll get there eventually.
Well, I think we've covered a lot for this episode.
Yeah.
As always, check us out on YouTube and Spotify. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.
What?
We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. But again, I am super bad about updating it. But
well, all the things going on in the government right now with TikTok, we might be on Instagram a lot more.
That's true. I heard about that today. So if that goes down, Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
We've got a website, workingmomswine.com. We are on Patreon as Working Moms Wine. So make sure to check us out, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.